Noble Drew Ali, the guiding light. In the bustling heart of the early 20th century America, a new voice arose from the whispers of history, a voice that would become a beacon for the African American community. This is the tale of Noble Drew Ali, a man whose life's work would sow the seeds of spiritual awakening and social reform. Chapter 1, The Early Years. Timothy Drew, who would later be known as Noble Drew Ali, was born in the southern winds of North Carolina in 1886. His early life was steeped in the experience of a post-Reconstruction America, where the quest for identity and equality amongst African Americans was a turbulent journey. Chapter 2, Spiritual Awakening. Drew's quest for enlightenment led him to travel extensively. It was in these travels that he encountered teachings which resonated with the depth of his soul. Drew embraced Islam, finding in its teachings the universality and brotherhood that transcended the racial prejudices of the time. Chapter 3, Founding of a Movement. In 1913, Drew established the Moorish Science Temple of America in Newark, New Jersey. With this foundation, he not only brought a new religious identity to African Americans by encouraging them to identify with the Moors, but he also instigated a movement for civil rights, advocating for racial pride and unity. Chapter 4, The Prophet's Teachings. As Noble Drew Ali, he taught his followers about the noble heritage of African Americans, urging them to live lives of integrity, enlightenment, and respect. He propagated the Seven Circle Creed and penned the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, which became the cornerstone of his teachings. Chapter 5, Legacy and Beyond. The Prophet's journey on this mortal coil came to an end in 1929, but his legacy was immortal. Noble Drew Ali's vision continued to inspire generations, influencing the civil rights movement and giving rise to leaders who would walk in his footsteps. In this way, the life of Noble Drew Ali unfolded like an epic saga, marked by a pursuit of knowledge and a fight for justice. His story is a reminder of the power of faith and the enduring quest for identity and equality. Through his teachings, he provided a path for empowerment, leaving a legacy that continues to illuminate the way for many. Certainly, let's continue the story of Noble Drew Ali and the indelible mark he left on history. Noble Drew Ali, the guiding light. Chapter 6, The Expansion of the Movement. Under Noble Drew Ali's guidance, the Moorish Science Temple of America swiftly expanded. Temples were established in several major cities, creating a network of communities united by faith and a common purpose. The movement was more than religious. It was a beacon of hope and unity, a call to reclaim a proud heritage that had been obscured by the shadows of history. Chapter 7, The Challenge of Leadership. With growth came challenges. Noble Drew Ali faced opposition not only from the outside world, but sometimes from within his own ranks. His leadership was tested, his ideals questioned, and his character scrutinized. Yet, through each trial, he emerged with a clearer vision, using each obstacle as a stepping stone to elevate his mission. Chapter 8, A Social Visionary. Noble Drew Ali's impact transcended the spiritual. He was a social visionary, advocating for economic independence, educational advancement, and political involvement. He encouraged his followers to become proud, productive citizens, to own businesses, to become educated, and to fight for their legal rights. Chapter 9, The Legal Battles. The Prophet's activism inevitably led to legal battles. He fought for the right to self-identify, challenging the era's oppressive laws and customs. Through court cases and legal petitions, he strove to secure recognition and rights for his people, laying down a legal blueprint for future civil rights advocacy. Chapter 10, The Path of Peace. Noble Drew Ali preached a message of peace and urged his followers to reject violence. In an age where racial tensions often boiled over into violence, his call for peaceful assertion was both revolutionary and restorative. He stood firm in his belief that change could be achieved through enlightenment and unity. Chapter 11, The Moorish Influence. The influence of the Moorish Science Temple of America began to ripple through African American culture, echoing in music, literature, and art. The sense of a shared Moorish heritage fostered a newfound dignity and identity, lifting the spirits of a community in search of its place in the American tapestry. Chapter 12, The Transition of Power. After Noble Drew Ali's passing in 1929, the question of succession led to divisions within the movement. Despite the fragmentation, his teachings remained the unifying thread for his followers. The organization he founded would see new leaders, each carrying the torch of his legacy forward. Chapter 13, The Eternal Prophet. Today, Noble Drew Ali is remembered as a prophet, a leader, and a liberator. His teachings continue to resonate, his vision still inspiring those who seek knowledge and truth. The Moorish Science Temple of America stands as a testament to his life's work, a monument to the eternal spirit of a man who sought to uplift a nation. Noble Drew Ali's story is one of unwavering conviction and enduring influence, a narrative that weaves through the fabric of American history. His legacy is a reminder that within each chapter of struggle lies the promise of enlightenment, and within each act of unity, the power to shape destiny. Delving further into the story of Noble Drew Ali, we explore the ongoing impact of his life's work and the evolution of the movement he birthed. Noble Drew Ali, the guiding light. Chapter 14, Reverberations of Faith. The echoes of Noble Drew Ali's message of faith and empowerment continued to resonate beyond his physical presence. His followers, numbering in the thousands, became carriers of his spiritual legacy, spreading his teachings across the United States and maintaining the vibrancy of the community through the Great Depression and the impending global conflicts. Chapter 15, The Moorish Legacy in Civil Rights. As the civil rights movement took shape in the mid-20th century, the groundwork laid by Noble Drew Ali became ever more apparent. Leaders within the African American community drew upon his example of peaceful resistance and legal activism, seeing him as a forerunner to the likes of Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. Chapter 16, Cultural Renaissance. The 1960s and 70s saw a cultural renaissance among African Americans, with Noble Drew Ali's emphasis on heritage and pride echoing in the Black Power and Black is Beautiful movements. His impact was apparent in the arts, where African motifs and Islamic influences surfaced in the work of African American artists, poets, and musicians. Chapter 17, Academic Recognition in the Halls of Academia. Scholars began to recognize Noble Drew Ali as a significant figure in American religious history. His ability to blend Islam with a unique American perspective was studied, and his role as a social activist garnered attention from historians charting the lineage of African American leadership. Chapter 18, The Digital Age. The advent of the digital age brought Noble Drew Ali's teachings to a global audience. Websites and online forums dedicated to the Moorish Science Temple of America provided access to his writings and the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, fostering a new generation of adherents and scholars intrigued by his message. Chapter 19, The Modern Movement. Contemporary followers of the Moorish Science Temple of America continue to advocate for the principles established by Noble Drew Ali. The movement remains active with national conventions, community service programs, and a continued emphasis on spiritual growth, legal rights, and social responsibility. Chapter 20, An Unending Chapter. As this story draws to a close, the chapter of Noble Drew Ali's impact remains unending. His spiritual progeny thrive, his teachings endure, and his vision for a unified community, aware of its worth and rights, continues to inspire. Noble Drew Ali's story is not confined to the pages of history, but is a living narrative, an ongoing testament to the power of faith, identity, and the relentless pursuit of justice. The life and work of Noble Drew Ali stand as a beacon that shines across the decades, highlighting the importance of self-knowledge, the strength of community, and the unyielding courage to confront injustice. His story, though rooted in the past, speaks to the present and guides towards a future where the dignity and unity of all people are recognized and revered. Embarking further into the enduring saga of Noble Drew Ali, we unfold the chapters that capture his continuing influence and the lessons that echo through time. Noble Drew Ali, the guiding light. Chapter 21, The Pilgrimage of Knowledge. In the years following Noble Drew Ali's passing, many embarked on a pilgrimage of knowledge, tracing his steps and seeking the sources of his profound understanding. This quest led to a deeper appreciation of the historical and cultural connections between African Americans and the broader Islamic world. Chapter 22, The Scribe's Pen as Noble. Drew Ali's followers proliferated, so did the written accounts of his life and teachings. Biographers and historians took to the scribe's pen, ensuring that his contributions to religious thought and civil rights were etched into the annals of history, available for generations to come. Chapter 23, The Spirit of Activism. The spirit of activism that Noble Drew Ali instilled in his followers ignited a continuous flame. Throughout the decades, members of the Moorish Science Temple of America have been at the forefront of community service and advocacy, embodying his teachings of self-reliance and empowerment. Chapter 24, The Call to Unity. Noble Drew. Ali's call to unity transcended the boundaries of the Moorish Science Temple. It influenced the broader African-American community, reminding them of their shared heritage and the strength that comes from solidarity, which has been a clarion call in the ongoing struggle for equality and justice. Chapter 25. The Harmonizing of Faiths. The harmonizing of Islamic teachings with American culture, as practiced by Noble Drew Ali, opened dialogues between different faiths. His approach fostered interreligious understanding and cooperation, setting a precedent for how diverse spiritual traditions can interact in a pluralistic society. Chapter 26. The Preservation of Heritage. Efforts to preserve the heritage that Noble Drew Ali highlighted have grown, with cultural exhibitions, academic courses, and public celebrations. This preservation not only honors the past, but also serves as a foundation for future generations to understand their identity and history. Chapter 27. The Evolution of Leadership within the Moorish Science Temple of America. Leadership continued to evolve, with each new figurehead drawing on the wisdom of Noble Drew Ali. The evolution reflected the dynamic nature of the movement, adapting to the times while remaining rooted in its foundational teachings. Chapter 28. The Architect of Identity Noble. Drew Ali's role as an architect of identity for African Americans has been celebrated and examined in various forms of media, including documentaries, films, and online platforms. His influence on identity politics and the shaping of a collective consciousness has been a subject of intrigue and admiration. Chapter 29. The Resurgence of Interest. The 21st century saw a resurgence of interest in Noble Drew Ali's life and work. This revival has been partly driven by the global conversation on race, identity, and the rights of minority communities, making his message as relevant today as it was during his lifetime. Chapter 30. The Living Legacy. The living legacy of Noble Drew Ali is not confined to any one institution or movement. It is carried in the hearts and minds of those he touched, both directly and indirectly. His vision for a world of enlightenment, equality, and dignity continues to inspire activists, leaders, and seekers of truth across the globe. In the unfolding story of Noble Drew Ali, each chapter reveals the timeless nature of his quest for truth and justice. His life was a testament to the power of unwavering conviction and the transformative force of a united community. As his followers carry on his legacy, the great Noble One remains a guiding light, illuminating the path toward a brighter, more inclusive future. Click like, subscribe, and share this channel.